Romiax back with another video. I hope you guys all enjoyed today's video. Make sure to hit that like and subscribe button, as that would be deeply appreciated by, as I want to hit 25k before Christmas. With that being said, share the video to a friend who likes for this or just anime content in general. Comment down below, join my Discord server, and we can now begin the video. What if Naruto had a brother? Kirito Uchiha, Naruto's older brother, would be born 4 years prior to the birth of Naruto. Nearly 5, to be exact. With that being said, his father was Minato Namikaze, and his mother? Well, interestingly enough, his mother would be Mikoto Uchiha. With that being, I don't know why I paused there on those items. I'm so sorry about that. With that being said, his mother would be Mikoto Uchiha, Fugaku Uchiha's wife, and or in other words, Sasuke's mother. With that being said, we have to position this time to be a little bit different than the canon. The timeline, I mean. So, for instance, Mikoto is going to have a break, for instance, from Fugaku. It doesn't mean that they have to get divorced or anything like that, but there's going to be a time where Fugaku and Mikoto are no longer seeing each other. Same thing goes for Kushina and Minato. And thus we have a falling in love, you could say, between Mikoto and Minato. Mikoto and Minato would fall in love, and thus the creation of Kirito Uchiha / Kirito Namikaze. With that being said, Kirito would be born on the outskirts of the Leaf Village in a small cabin. His mother would be forced to put him up for adoption. You see, if Fugaku had ever figured out that Mikoto had an affair with Minato Namikaze of all people, then he would be furious, and shame would be brought both to Minato as a Jonin and Mikoto's family name, never mind the Uchiha clan as a whole. With that being said, Minato understood that their child had to be put up for adoption, but he was still sad nevertheless. Now, never mind all the specifics, that's just how the timeline's going to have to be set up for this to even work. But with that being said, we can now begin the video. Upon being given up for adoption, Kirito's adoptive parents were a good family. Mikoto and Minato made sure of it. If they were going to adopt their only child together, then he had to have a good home. With that being said, they were a loving family, and they cared for Kirito from ages 1 to 4. It would be on Kirito's 4th birthday that an incident occurred. His father and mother, well, his adoptive father and mother, had passed. Both from unknown reasons, but Kirito suspects that there was, say, foul play involved with their deaths, like, say, somebody murdered them. With that being said, Kirito soon after this would be traded in to work as a slave. As a slave, Kirito would do normal things that a child slave would be expected to do. Sometimes he would have to carry things, other times he would have to, say, fan somebody or wash somebody, and if he didn't do these things, then he would be beaten to near death. So you can imagine, Kirito had it very, very rough. A man who was also a slave with Kirito was a ninja, and this man would teach Kirito nearly everything he knew, at that age at least. The man would teach Kirito how to wield a kunai, how to, properly do, quote-unquote, taijutsu, how to wield a sword, how to control your own chakra, etc., etc. But 2 years would pass, and the man would die. It wasn't a natural death. I guess you could say that his body had too much strain on it. He was doing things that people at the age of 67 shouldn't be doing. With that being said, Kirito cried when he died. He hadn't even known his name. The only name he referred to him as was Master. With that being said, Kirito would break out, to say the least, of his, I guess you could say, imprisonment, and would escape. With that, he would continue north from his own location, or rather from his current location, until he reached the Hidden Mist Village. Upon reaching the Hidden Mist Village, knowing that he, wasn't from there, he would stay on the border of the Mist Village, rather than actually going inside. With that being said, Kirito was strong. Very strong. Obviously, being an Uchiha is something, but being the Uchiha and also the son of the 4th Hokage, or rather, soon-to-be 4th Hokage, well, that also tops the cake. With that being said, he had a latent potential for nearly everything. Genjutsu, swordsmanship, speed, agility, endurance. All of his physical attributes were above the level of normal humans, normal ninja. You get the point. With that being said, at this point, he is now 8 years old. 4 years have passed since the time that his adoptive parents died. With that being said, at this point, he has lost his mother, his real mother, his father, his real father, his adoptive mother, and he has also lost his master. Never mind the fact that he was also put in slavery and escaped, only to be put in a situation where he cannot enter a village because, he's not from there. With that being said, he stays on the border for nearly a year, where he trains himself. Kirito knew he would have to be a lone wolf at this point, and he was okay with it. Nearly his whole life, he had no one. And when he did have someone, they were taken away from him, per se. And thus, he became a bounty hunter, killing the heads, or rather taking the heads, of many of the most wanted ninja in Kirigakure, and the Mist Village. With that being said, he continued to do this for nearly a year until he turned 10 years old. Upon turning 10 years old, his name reached Yagura Karatachi. But, interestingly enough, he had been taken as a slave once more. This time by people, or rather, he was taken captive by people much stronger than before. These people were powerful. It was as if they were Anbu, ninja, former Kage, that kind of thing. But they kept him as a slave. And thus, he continued to work tirelessly. But he didn't work. Instead, he didn't slack off either, but he resisted. He wouldn't work. And he'd rather take a beating than move anyone's ship for them. And I did not say the SH word. I swear, I meant ship. Anyways, with that being said, never mind if it was a ship, a boat, cargo, anything. He would rather get beaten than move anything for anyone. And thus, most of the time he was kept in a cage. 13 hours a day he wouldn't see light. And 17 hours a day he was awake. He would only sleep for about 7 hours before waking up and continuing the cycle over and over again. If he didn't wake up in time, he'd be hit. If he went to sleep too early, he'd be hit. And so he lived in a cage, similarly to a dog. With that being said, he would be found by Yagura Karatachi, the current Mizukage. The fourth Mizukage, to be exact. Yagura didn't like things like slavery, and so he freed all of the slaves there, including Kirito. But something about Kirito was different. His chakra, it was through the roof. He could sense it from a mile away. And so Yagura would outstretch his hand to Kirito, who would accept. He would take Yagura's hand. And from there on, Yagura adopted Kirito. And Kirito now saw Yagura Karadachi as his father. With that being said, from here on, Kirito would be trained as an ace. The mist is ace. Ace ninja kind of thing. A hidden ace, so to speak, that the mist could rely on for anything. People like the Anbu sometimes became obsolete, because Kirito, similarly to the Anbu, was willing to dirty his hands and always get the job done. Anything for his father, as he would say. This is where Kirito's, I guess you could say, mentality would change. He became much stronger, and he grew into the person that you could say he was always meant to be. He became a strong leader. He was compassionate, whilst also being strong, intelligent, and, in a way, lonely. But he was powerful. And people in the village started to spread rumors that one day he would surpass even Lord Fourth. Lord Fourth in their village, of course, not Minato Namikaze. With that being said, 2 more years would pass, and, well, Kirito would now be 14 years old. At this point, he no longer was the quote-unquote ace of the Mist Village. He became somewhat of a shadow Kage. Everything Yagura couldn't do, Kirito could. If it was to assassinate somebody, Kirito was there in an instant, would put them down, or imprison them, if that was what Yagura wished. You see, Kirito had become Yagura's eyes and ears. But most of all, Kirito had become Yagura's sword. His sword and shield. Yagura was thankful for this. Kirito truly became Yagura's son. With that being said, there was only so much that the Mist Village could offer Kirito. You see, Kirito had become a man who drived for power, and due to the fact that his father was still in reign in the village and was still the Kage, he decided to leave and hunt down a certain rogue ninja named Zabuza Momochi. With that being said, whilst hunting this ninja, his moral compass would be shifted. He became a good person, you could say, and he grew fond of the people around him. On this mission, he took a girl with him. This girl's name was Yu, and Yu was kind, caring, loving, nice, a little shy, and also in his eyes, beautiful. And during their travels, they had actually started dating, which was, well, yeah, you get the point. With that being said, Kirito loved Yu. And when Kirito returned home to where they had been staying at the time, and she was dead, he was again broken. And it became his sole mission to kill Rogue Ninja. Because there on the scene was a fragment of the blade, the executioner's blade. With that being said, he became obsessed with killing Rogue Ninja. You see, how is this possible for the Blade's fragment to be there? If any of you are unfamiliar with the fact that the Executioner's Blade can actually regenerate, then here you have it. The Executioner's Blade can regenerate. Basically, once blood has been poured on the blade, / once blood has basically touched the blade, it will regenerate. Now, it does have to be a decent amount of blood. Like, 1 drop's not going to do the trick, but it will regenerate with a little bit of blood. With that being said, when Kirito saw this, he was infuriated, and the only thing he spent his life doing for the next 4 years would be killing, and killing Rogue Ninja. Now, this, in reality, was only about 2 years. But for about 2 of those years, he lived it in a genjutsu. Who put him under this genjutsu? Well, the famous Itachi Uchiha. You see, Kirito continued to hunt Rogue Ninjas, and, well, eventually Itachi came into his view. He wouldn't let Itachi Uchiha get the upper hand on him, and or leave his sight. So he would attack Itachi. And in the process, he would be put in a genjutsu, where in a second, it felt as if he lived 2 years. Itachi would take Kirito out of the genjutsu. After realizing something was familiar about him, it was as if he was an Uchiha. With that being said, Itachi would leave a crow to watch Kirito at nearly any time, just in case his hunch of Kirito being an Uchiha was true. With that being said, during the 4 years that / 2 years, since it was only 4 years due to the fact that he was put in a genjutsu by Itachi. With that being said, during the 2 years that he was out, I guess you could say, killing Rogue Ninja, he unlocked his Sharingan. And before that, he had unlocked his Mangekyo when he saw the death of, well, the love of his life, you. Could you blame him for, getting the Mangekyo? With that being said, Naruto we can now look at. Naruto Uzumaki. Everything would go about the same in the canon, except for the fact that Naruto is a little stronger. He takes training a little bit more seriously. With that being said, as far as the story of Naruto goes, we can skip directly to nearly the Land of Waves. Naruto, Sasuke, Sakura, and, well, even Kakashi will be doing D-rank missions, and Naruto and Sasuke got way too bored of them, asking and begging Kakashi for a D-rank mission that actually could satisfy them. Kakashi gave them one, but it was nothing, and so they asked for a C-rank mission, as they thought that they were prepared for. With that being said, the Hokage saw them as, well, fit enough / well enough to, go on a C-rank mission, so he gave them the Land of Waves mission. With that being said, Kakashi and Sasuke and Sakura and Naruto would venture out to the Land of Waves. Upon seeing the Demon Brothers, this Naruto is not scared at all. He doesn't hesitate to kill one of them, with Sasuke doing the same to the other Demon Brother that Naruto didn't kill. With that being said, Kakashi never fakes his death in this timeline, and everything is dandy, I guess. I don't know, that was a weird word. Everything is fine. With that being said, they would continue on their way to the bridge, as upon starting the building and construction of this bridge, Zabuza and Haku appear. Now, their first encounter goes the exact same as it did in the canon. The whole water bubble thing, yada yada yada. Kakashi gets caught in the water bubble, and you get the point. Demon One Shuriken, yeah. With that being said, the second encounter is a little different. Naruto is caught in the ice mirrors, and after Sasuke is hit with the Senbon, he goes berserk, you could say. We know how this goes. But there is this quick change. This Naruto is stopped. Now we switch back to Kirito Uchiha, who at this point is in the Land of Waves. He senses a battle. It should be noted that his senses are second to none. With that being said, he appears close to the scene of battle as he watches the battle ensue. Upon seeing Zabuza, he quickly intervenes as he sees Kakashi about to ready his Chidori, starting it, and you get the point. Kirito would step in. "Who are you?" Kakashi would ask Kirito, as Kirito would reply, "Who am I? Oh, I am... I never really thought of that question." Kakashi Hatake, the copy ninja. "But if you wish to know my name, it is Kirito. Kirito Uchiha." Huh? No, the Uchiha clan, it was massacred by Itachi. No. Though that may be true, not all of the clan had died. Actually, I think the boy fighting in that ice mirror is an Uchiha just like I. He has the Sharingan, and so do you. But you're no Uchiha. Unless you've grown old. What are you, 60? No. That's exactly what I thought. Which means that eye isn't actually yours. Now, I don't want to snoop in your business or anything, but if you took a previous member of my clan's dojutsu, I would like to know. No, it was given to me by a close friend. I see. Noble acts by Uchiha. Rare but beautiful. Now, Kakashi. This guy, right here, Zabuza Momochi, you have him pinned down with your dogs, right? Yes, he can't move at the moment. Good. I'd like to have a word with him, okay? Sure. With that, Kirito would grab Kakashi, starting to choke him out in midair. Kakashi would kick his feet, and his summoning dogs would attack Kirito. He would look them all in the eye, letting off a bloodthirsty and ravishing aura. With that, the mere aura that was emanating off of Kirito's body was enough to scare them into going back to being normal, I guess you could say smoke, going into smoke. With that being said, Naruto would then throw Kakashi as far as he could. I just said I meant Kirito. I'm so sorry about that. With that being said, Kirito would then throw Kakashi as far as he could. At this time, he would then look to Zabuza, who stood in the same exact spot, grasping onto his blade tightly. Kirito would then appear behind Zabuza, grabbing onto the blade and pulling it out of its sheath. "This blade, Zabuza, you used it to murder You used this weapon to murder the love of my life. So it's only fitting that you die by it, right? Since you've killed so many without a second thought. Isn't that right, Zabuza Momochi? Come on, speak up. Speak to me, damn it, or I will force you to talk." "And who was this love of your life? Her name?" "Oh, I don't know. She had nice blonde hair, Maybe you'll remember a pink robe. Ah, she had a blue blue bow on her head. Oh, I think you stained her dress red, actually, Zabuza. With that being said, Kirito would drive Zabuza's own blade into his chest, as Zabuza would be pushed onto the ground by Kirito. Speak up already. Maybe I should refresh your memory some more. Nice cabin, surrounded by tons and tons of trees. A nice chunk of population nearly a kilometer away. How does that sound for not remembering? Oh, I remember. I didn't even mean to kill her. My blade slipped. Now my blade slipped too. Actually, I'm gonna spare you, Zabuza Momochi. Just for a little bit. Now you will stay here and abide by my rules. Activate. Now. Now Lion's Roar. Genjutsu of the Thames. With that being said, Zabuza would be put into a Genjutsu. Similar to the Genjutsus of Itachi Uchiha, Zabuza would be put in a Genjutsu that was quite akin to the likes of the Infinite Tsukiyomi, where he would be tormented and stabbed over and over again for what felt like years and years, decades and decades, even centuries. With that being said, Naruto would then enter the ice mirrors. It would be there that he would see Naruto attacking Haku. What the hell? This boy, he feels so familiar. Why? Why does he feel so familiar? Kirito would then pull out a picture that he kept always in his pocket. It was a picture of Minato, who he does know is his father. He knows his father is the fourth Hokage, yada yada yada, you get the point. With that being said, this picture was actually given to him when he was born by his mother, who left it in his, blanket when he was, given up for adoption. And ever since, he's kept it. He would then look at the picture, and then look at Naruto, and he saw the resemblance. He knew that the boy who stood in front of him, beating the hell out of Haku, was his younger brother. What the hell? With that, Naruto now had Haku in, a position where he was holding Haku's collar and was about to punch him in the face. With that being said, Kirito would disappear and reappear as he would grab Naruto by the shoulder. Naruto. Is that your name? Huh? How'd you... I don't believe we've met before, Naruto Uzumaki. Where am I? What did you do? This is one of my many Genjutsu worlds. They're prepared in advance for situations like this. Well, not necessarily. Usually I use them when I have somebody to kill, or if I want to pass time. This scenario is neither. Naruto. How do you know my name? This jutsu. It's like a prison of information. As long as I have you in this genjutsu with me, I have every piece of information I want to know about you. It's, really handy. From, a beautiful lady's bra size to the amount of people a rogue ninja has killed to get where he is. Oh, So you were being sarcastic. Of course I was. I'm not some pervert. Now, Naruto, I have to ask, what village are you from? I'm from the Leaf. Can't you tell by my forward protector? Okay, and do you know who your parents are? No idea. Interesting. Well, let me tell you this, Naruto. That guy that you were about to kill, or that you were gonna at least keep punching, I need him alive. Okay? I need him alive. So when you exit this genjutsu with me, you're not gonna lay another finger on him. Understood? Yeah. Yes, sir. I understand. Sir, just... I don't know, just means bro. That's more appropriate. Huh? It doesn't matter. With that being said, Kirito would end the genjutsu, as Naruto would pull his hand away from Haku's face. With that being said, Kirito would appear right beside Haku, pulling out his sword. Haku, I've actually been chasing you for nearly 2 years. Yeah, I know. You're Kirito, the madman. Is that what they call me in this part of town? Sorry, I remember going north. And when I was up north, they referred to me by much subtler names, like, Kirito the Fearless, Kirito the Swordsman, Kirito, King of the North. Now listen, you've traveled alongside Zabuza for more than 2 years. If I were to guess, probably your whole life. You mean something to Zabuza. Haku, Zabuza killed the love of my life. The only person I cared about more than my own father, Yagura. So, to be clear, I think this will make us just even. Me and Zabuza, we can be pals after I drive this blade through your chest. With that, Kirito would drive his sword through Haku's chest, as Haku would start to bleed, and bleed a lot. He was losing lots of blood at a rapid pace. With that being said, Kirito would then try to escape the ice mirrors, but he couldn't. With that, he would take out his fingernail and would tap the ice mirror. Now, hocus pocus. With that, he would slam his fingernail into the ice mirror, as it would shatter completely, falling down into mirror ice crystals before his feet. With that being said, he would walk over to Zabuza, holding Haku in his hands. Oh, did I forget to mention, an eye for an eye? I'm sure you've heard of the term, Zabuza. You're a rogue ninja. An eye for an eye. You killed the love of my life. I killed the only human being on this earth that you give a damn about. Even if the dam's not that big. Haku's losing lots of blood right now. You might want to come over here and help her, don't you think? Yeah, I do. I won't attack you, I promise. Oh, nobody said anything about you attacking me. A shadow clone of Kirito's would appear. You see, Kirito had mastered the art of creating a shadow clone without even using hand signs. With that being said, Naruto would then watch as Kirito would absolutely bully Zabuza, kicking him left to right, stomping on him, punching him. Oh, Zabuza, You don't know how badly I've waited for this moment. With that being said, he would smirk as his physical body switched places with his clone body. How did you do that, Kirito? You madman. How did I do what? You switched places with your clone. And your clone, I couldn't sense it from anywhere. Which means that it was newly created. Probably about a second before it attacked me. You're a smart man, but you're also as stupid as a rock, Zabuza. Do you not remember why they call me King of the North? And the Stone Village? And the Mist is border? No, I forget. I heard the story once, but I forget it. It wasn't important at the time. You were still a young boy. You were still the lapdog of the Mizukage. I wasn't his lapdog. And the Mizukage's son, you moron. Well, that explains a lot. I guess I'll tell you this tale then, Zabuza, since you don't exactly remember the story. Kirito, the swordsman, who follows orders directly from Yagura Karatachi, the fourth Mizukage, entered the Stone Village on the 24th hour of the 24th day of the year. And he massacred 24 people, all high-ranking Jonin. 24 Jonin? I remember the story being a little bit more eventful. You did not let me finish, Zabuza. He encountered 95 more ninja, escaping the Stone Village. There, he dispatched of all of them, leaving them all in critical condition, to the point where their bodies ached, bones hurt, and their bodies bled. To the point where they were so close to the verge of death. But they all survived. It was a miracle, each and every one of them. Each and every single sword cut was positioned in a certain spot to minimize blood and to maximize pain. You see, upon exiting the Stone Village, Kirito encountered another 500 stone ninja, who, might I add again, he also dispatched of, doing the exact same thing, with every single one of them surviving. It was a miracle. A miracle that Kirito himself created for fun. That's why they call me the Madman. Because I want to maximize those who I don't like's pain. I wouldn't just say it's a distaste. But at that time in my life, I was at a bit of a roadblock. You know, the Mizukage, my father's, lapdog or not, the love of my life had just died. So I went to the north. I escaped. I tried to even create a new identity for myself. Yeah, I know, arrogant tween. Old phase. I was 12. Oh, and, might I add, it was there that I stole the amulet belonging to the current Tsuchikage Onaki's mother, I think. It was a family jewel passed down generation to generation. The amulet is worth nearly 4 billion Ria. It's insane. And you haven't auctioned it off? Nope. Kirito would pull out a case, opening it, and showing Zabuza the amulet. This is probably the prettiest thing you'll ever see in your life. Up until I end it. Yeah, Zabuza. Come. Save Haku. Go grab Haku from my clone. Again, he's losing a lot of blood. Zabuza would rush towards Kirito's clone, as Kirito would appear in front of Zabuza, punching him in the gut and knocking the wind out of him. Zabuza would stumble 2 steps backwards, as he would rush towards Haku again, this time with no air in his lungs. With that, Kirito would do the exact same thing, as Zabuza would fall on one knee, outstretching his hand towards Haku's body. With that, he would fall completely to the ground, as Kirito would start stomping on his back. You know, I'd feel bad for you if you didn't take everything I cared about. You bastard. I hate you, Zabuza. I hate you so much. And for that, I no longer give you a choice to save your loved one, like you never gave me the choice to save mine. Night-night, Hakuyuki. Kill him, now. With that, Kirito's clone would drive a kunai through Haku's heart. But it missed, only by a few inches. It had an artery instead. And Haku was now bound to die in less than 5 minutes. Kirito was a kind guy at heart, but the things in his life made him a horrible person. And thus, his kind-hearted nature at heart made him forget all about his feud with Zabuza. Haku was still just a boy, and so he couldn't let Haku die. He couldn't. And so he laid Haku down right beside Zabuza. As Zabuza mourned Haku. Zabuza, stop crying and get up on your feet. There's a jutsu I can perform. Now, usually I would use my own life force for a jutsu like this, but I won't bother here, because it's not my decision. You see, I'd rather go for you. This jutsu, using this special little amulet that I retrieved from the Tsuchikage, Onaki. Well, it wasn't just his mother's family heirloom. It also happens to be an amulet that, if enough chakra and life force of an individual is pushed into it, it can supplement and revive another person. Cool, eh? I've realized throughout my life as a ninja, there are several ways of bringing back a loved one. Like, for instance, the amulet. Or reanimation. Or the Edo Tensei. Created by the second Hokage, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, it's a forbidden jutsu anyways. So, who cares? Oh. And I hear if you're lucky, the Sage of Six Paths will grant you another life. But that's just folklore. And you have to be special for that. I believe you have to be the reincarnation of Injura Asura. But it's all just a myth, a folklore, so it's not that important. The reason I'm telling you this is because Haku has about, probably, I'd say 4 minutes now to live. If you supplement your life force through this amulet, and this amulet touches her. Oh, I used, her when I meant to say him. I'm so sorry about that. Haku is a he, but for the sake of this what if, Haku will have he/him and he/her pronouns. As well as they/them pronouns. With that being said, sorry for my inadequate error. With that being said, Zabuza would agree, as he would push his life force into the amulet, falling to the ground. Haku would then have this amulet placed on his body, as he would come back to life. Or rather, his wounds would heal. He felt horrible still, as, well, the pain doesn't go away. But his wounds completely closed, and he was now conscious again. Looking around, he saw Zabuza, and he pleaded with Kirito to reverse the effects of whatever he did. Make Zabuza stay and him go. But Kirito would shake his head. You know, I wish I had that choice. I contemplated that day. When I went to the north and I found this amulet. Do you know why I stole it? Because I heard rumors of its potential power. And I wanted to save my lover. But when I got back, I was too late. By that point, she had already been cremated. And I would never see her again. I thought about it that day. If I was given the choice to use my own life force to revive her, would I have done it? And the answer was absolutely. Because I loved her. Only her. Because she meant everything to me. But no. Zabuza just had to ruin it all. He killed her He killed her, and I couldn't do anything about it because I wasn't there. People ask me about time now, and I say that I am the fastest executioner in the world. You know, my father, his name, it's the 4th Hokage, if you don't know who I'm talking about. I'm sure you know the 4th Hokage, Minato. Yeah, you get the point. He developed a jutsu. It was what he was actually famous for the most part. Besides being Hokage, of course. The Flying Raijin Jutsu. It's said that he can take out over 1,000 ninja in 10 seconds using this jutsu. The Flying Raijin, that is. So I learned it. I wanted to be, in a way, like my father. But it was also useful. It would be a skill that would allow me to never be late again. To be able to always come home in time. Because I think about it nearly every day. It haunts me, it plagues me, Haku. What if I was just 1 second closer? I could have stopped it. Zabuza would have stopped. Maybe he would have attacked me instead, but she would not have died there. Do you understand me? My words can't explain how much pain that man has put me through. And all I want to do right now is stab my blade into him over and over again, but I am not the madman you perceive me to be. Actually, I'm not the madman that the people in the North world perceive me to be either. It's a stone ninja? No, I'm not a madman. I'm not delirious. I'm not stupid or arrogant. Listen. I was having a bad day. Haku would look up at Kirito. You were having a bad day. So you killed, I don't know, over 600 people? Injured over 500. Or 600? Same thing. But no, I didn't kill any of them. That's why they called me the madman. If I killed them, sure. But I left them all alive. Now listen, Haku. I'm giving you a chance to live. Do not insult me by dying. Okay? Huh? What do you mean? I've made a lot of mistakes in my life. A lot. This isn't a mistake. Me killing Zabuza. Me letting Zabuza get what I wish I had. The ability to save the person that I cared most for in this life. In exchange for my own? Oh, that is heaven. Isn't that right, Zabuza? I know you can still hear me. Because your chakra isn't yet gone. Which means that you're still alive. You didn't lose all of your life force. But you left too much to fight me. Or rather, in this case, it would be you lost too much. Which means that you can't fight me. Oh, and might I add, it's safe to say that the amount of life force that you no longer have, either you'll die and, that's just life. Or you'll live your life as an achy old man. Unless I help you, Zabuza. Which is what I'm exactly gonna do. I hate you. Hate is bred from love. My love for you is why I hate you. Not you exactly, but the you that you accidentally killed. Now listen. Her full name, it was Yui Namigakure. She was actually a princess, kinda. There's a part of the Mist Village. It's hidden by a small waterfall. In there, it's a whole different place. They say royalty lives there. She was the princess. It soon became and garnered its own reputation and became Namigakure. She was the prince of the princess of Namigakure. Now, Zabuza, I'm going to let you live. Because I've killed so many people and destroyed so many people's innocent lives. So the most I can do is pay by letting the man who took the love of my life away from me, from letting that man live. That's about the most selfless action I've ever thought of in my entire existence. My entire worthless existence. Now hold my hand, Zabuza. No, actually. There's a better way I can do this. I can transmit chakra through your entire body, which will jumpstart your life force, if it's enough chakra. I can do this by touch, but all I'm gonna do it is pummeling you until you get chakra running through your system again. Now get up and fight me! Zabuza would stand to his feet shaking, as Naruto would beat him around over and over again. I just said Naruto. I'm... No more Naruto, this guys. No more Naruto. No, just kidding. Just kidding. But I don't know why I confuse the names. I just say Naruto too much, I guess. With that being said, Kirito would continue to beat Zabuza for about 14 minutes until Zabuza started to excrete chakra and could start using jutsu again. It would be there that Kirito would now continue to beat Zabuza for another 17 minutes until Zabuza was now on the ground, beaten and bloodied. I think that's enough revenge. I didn't get all the revenge I wanted. I'm sure you know that more than anyone, Zabuza. You wanted revenge against my father for the longest time, didn't you? That's why you left, right? So that you could assemble a force to kill and assassinate my dad, right? If I'm not mistaken. Yeah, that's right. Something like that. Good. Now, you have your life back. I'm gonna stop hunting you, Zabuza, Momochi, and Akuyuki. You guys can, I don't know, live normal human lives however you want. But as for me, I'm gonna sacrifice myself for the ninja world. Huh? What do you mean? Well, have you ever heard of the Mangekyo Sharingan? The Mangekyo Sharingan, Mangekyo MS, I don't know, Eternal Mangekyo Sharingan, anything like that? No, not at all. Why? Well, listen. The Sharingan, as I'm sure you've heard of, has 5 stages. More if you count the predecessors, I guess you could call them. Anyways, the 1 Tomoe, the 2 Tomoe, a level above that, the 3 Tomoe. The 4th is the most crucial to advancing the Sharingan even further. It is known as the Mangekyo Sharingan. This Sharingan can only be achieved through advanced and severe trauma. I got it when you killed you. Anyways, Mangekyo Sharingan, and the Eternal Mangekyo Sharingan is when you exchange eyes with a family member. And, you don't need to know the whole backstory about it. Now listen. Mangekyo Sharingans have 2 special abilities. For instance, somebody, say, can have a Mangekyo Sharingan that burns flames. One of their eyes, say their left eye, lights the flame. The other can extinguish it. It can be multiple different abilities, though. With that being said, my Mangekyo Sharingan is explosion. I can make any sized explosion that I desire or wish to create. And anything within that radius is as good as dead. Seriously. Even those who use time-space ninjutsu, like, say, the Flying Raijin, or... you get the point, succumb to the explosion. It obliterates anything in my range. What's your range? My range? Huh. Funny you say that. My range is 95 meters. Oh. That's only complete decimation. You see, my range is as long as I want it to be. If I really insisted, the whole world could be my range. But the explosion would be as good as, I don't know, a grenade would be. It wouldn't be as strong as, say, an atomic bomb. That's why I would never do that. Also, I'm not a lunatic. I would never kill innocent people who aren't ninja. Because you see, ninja, they volunteer for this kind of thing. They volunteer and risk their lives for their nation. Now listen. There's a group that I found out about not that long ago known as the Akatsuki. They plan to take out the Jinchuriki 1 through 9. My father, he's the 3 tails. I wouldn't want that. Oh, and my brother. I believe him to be the 9 tails. Again, I wouldn't want that. For him to die. Anyways, their end goal is to create the 10 tails. The 10 tails, well, he will bring about the infinite Tsukiyomi. Something on the lines of that, I'm not really sure. But everybody in the world will enter a genjutsu, to be more precise. See how I wouldn't want that? Nobody needs to be in prison in a genjutsu in the first place. and people shouldn't be forced just so peace can be attained. Yeah, I get it. War sucks. Sucks more than anything. But living in a simulation, a world that doesn't even truly exist, yeah, I'd pass 1,000,000 times over. So, I guess what I'm trying to say is I'm going to kill every member of the Akatsuki besides Itachi Uchiha, one of my only known relatives. Before I part from this earth, I will have 2 offspring. These 2 people will continue the Uchiha line. I will make sure that they are brought up by good parents, strong parents that will not die. And I will make sure that they continue the line of the Uchiha clan. I will sacrifice myself. You see, the reason I've never used a 95-meter explosion yet is due to the fact that if I want to kill everybody in that radius, I must sacrifice my own life with it. You see how a lot of my life has just been a big sacrifice? I guess it's the Uchiha's way of tormenting me through my own Sharingan. An ability that requires one last sacrifice. My own life. And I don't know if you know this, but every single ounce of power counts. If I'm dealing with a group that's goal is to take the 10 tails. By first taking all Jinchuriki. Now listen, I don't know where they'll be, but eventually I'll find out. And when I do, I'm gonna kill myself to kill them with me. And hopefully, eventually, after my death, peace can be attained between the nations. That's all I ask for. And my brother, I need you. Actually, never mind. I don't need you for anything. Kirito would disappear and reappear. Now in front of Sasuke Uchiha. Sasuke Uchiha now lied on the ground beside Naruto, as Kirito would knock Naruto out. Sasuke would immediately get up, ready to attack Kirito, as Kirito would tell Sasuke to calm down, tripping him as Sasuke would now land back first on the ground. With that, Kirito would sit down. Sasuke Uchiha, we are related. Huh? What do you mean? No, my whole clan was massacred by my older brother. That's not really possible. Actually, it is. My father is the 4th Hokage, Minato Namikaze. Minato Namikaze also happens to be my brother over there's dad. Naruto's your brother? What? Yeah. Oh, and my mother. This is how I'm an Uchiha. I believe that she's your mom as well. Her name's Mikoto. Mikoto Uchiha. And if she is your mother as well, then hello, baby bro. Or should I say baby bros, since you guys are both my half-brothers. Now, I need you to tell Naruto that I'm his brother. That the guy who stopped him from killing Haku was his brother. His older brother. And that one day, that man wants Naruto to bring about peace to this world. As for you, Sasuke, you're gonna help Naruto do that, understand? Yeah. But I want proof. Show me your Sharingan. If that's really what you wish, if that is what you desire, then here. Sharingan. It was there. The Mangekyo Sharingan within his eyes. As Sasuke, under his breath, would say, He has the same eyes as Itachi. With that being said, Kirito would place Sasuke under a Genjutsu, where everything felt surreal. And he thought that Kirito had just killed Naruto. With that being said, this would forcibly activate Sasuke's innate Mangekyo Sharingan, as Kirito would tell Sasuke that it was all a Genjutsu, to force him into having the Mangekyo. But then now with the newfound power of the Mangekyo Sharingan, he may have the ability to truly create ninja world peace with Naruto. With that being said, Kirito would disappear. It wouldn't be another 4 years until he reappeared. Knowing the location of the Akatsuki, he would venture there. Before doing so, he would tell Naruto goodbye. He'd actually been living with Naruto for a time. They had bonded. They got really close. But Kirito knew what he had to do. He had to protect his younger brother from the Akatsuki. And if he didn't protect them from the Akatsuki, then there was a possibility that his younger brother would be killed. And well, he couldn't have that. And thus he would appear in the Akatsuki's hideout. All members were present, including Obito Uchiha / Mother Uchiha. With that being said, Kirito would ask to join that group, as Obito would accept, feeling you could say a good feeling about Kirito, that he was strong. With that being said, Kirito would smirk, shaking Obito's hand. And at this point, due to the fact that Kamui is not activated since they're shaking hands, Kirito would activate his Mangekyo Sharingan. Immediately, Obito knew something was a little bit up / off, as Kirito would smirk. Your stupid group. Why would I want to join it in the first place? I am Kirito Uchiha. Some call me Kirito Namikaze. And you all are going to Hell's Gate. Now. Explosion! With that, everybody in the Akatsuki would be killed, except for Itachi Uchiha, who Kirito made sure not to let be hit by the explosion. Everybody in the room, their bodies have been broken up on the molecular and atomic level. Even Obito. With that being said, Kirito now lied on the ground. His body was nearly burnt to a crisp. Smoke was coming off of his body as he looked up and into Itachi's eyes. Itachi, I need you to deliver something to my younger brother. Yeah, what is it? Kirito Uchiha. So you finally recognized me as an Uchiha. You used a Mangekyo Sharingan ability. It was obvious. Well, since I'm on my deathbed and all, I might as well tell you something, Itachi. There was 2 reasons why I spared you. Sasuke, he needs to kill you for whatever goal you intend on. I don't know. Yeah, you get the point. Oh, and second of all, I can never kill my half-brother. What? Itachi, my her name is Mikoto Uchiha, and my father, his name is Minato Namikaze, the 4th Hokage. No way. No way. Then you can't die. I have 3 children. I really only wanted 2, but the brats just kept piling up, you know? Tell them that their dad, He died saving the world. When they grow up, that is. For now, they'll know that I'm on a vacation. And that I won't be back for 10 years. By then, they'll be grown up. And they can hear of my death. It will break them, I'm sure, but they have to survive. It's the only way. Oh, and Itachi, I'm sorry. You having to watch your brother die. Kinda selfish of me, am I right? Taking all the Akatsuki members with me. Yeah, I'm dying. Goodbye, Itachi. Oh, and tell both Sasuke and Naruto that I left them. Until the very end. With that being said, this has been What If Naruto's brother. In this What If, we purely focused on mainly Kirito, and the perspective of Kirito for most, if not all, of the What If. With that being said, I do want to know in the comments down below how you guys feel about focusing on one specific character for most of the What If, and then sometimes switching back to, say, Naruto, the main character, or you get the point. With that being said, I was just testing something out with this video, though this was obviously a real and normal video. With that being said, this has been What If Naruto Had a Brother. I felt no more need to continue the story. Everything really goes as it did in the canon from there on, with a few tweaks. No Great Ninja War, no Akatsuki hunting, Naruto. A lot of stuff is cut out, but Naruto still does things like marry Hinata, fight with Sasuke at the Valley of the End, and win. Have Boruto, that kind of thing. You get the point. But with that being said, I hope you guys all enjoyed today's video. This video was about, I don't know, an hour and 10 minutes long, an hour, 11 minutes long. It really varies on how long the recording ended up being after I exported it. I love you all. Make sure to hit the like and subscribe button. And with that being said, Rami X. Oh.